Hey, hi, Glenn here. Starting to work, not starting. We've been working on getting the building blocks, the granite blocks for the back of the dressing suite, real close to putting the first stone in, which I'm going to call the cornerstone. And then I started thinking about it, and I wanted to do something even more special than just splitting some rock and making blocks. So I took the skid loader out back, past the wedding in the woods, out to the farm field, and found a boulder that they picked off the field this spring, and that's what I'm going to use to hopefully make the corner block for the cornerstone. So let's see how it splits up. Okay, in splitting this rock, the first thing I did is I took my stonemason hammer and a driving maul, and I traced kind of where I want the crack. And tracing is just hitting it, trying to put micro fissures, little cracks in the stone that hopefully this breaks on. Then I did the hammer drill, and I put my holes about 6 inches apart, 3 to 4 inches deep, and now I'm going to load it up with the Feather and Wedges. Alright, if you're not familiar with Feather and Wedges, they have all kinds of different names. That's what it is. 2 pieces of metal. They have a little bit of a taper to them, and those are the feathers. And then when the wedge comes in, that starts to push, and that pressure is what pushes the stone apart, breaks it in half. So those little cracks from the slamming those micro fissure cracks in there, that's what I'm trying to square these up and line them up, so as I hit it, it goes there. Here's a little trick if you're doing this. Sometimes if you just drop these in, they fall down. What I do is I put one in partially, I'll go this way, and then I take one and I pry it against and hold it in place. Then I can drop the wedge in there, grab both of them, and then slide it down, because you want those feathers to be right at the rock. And then when we're there and we're lined up, because you want it square to your line if you start getting there and get different cracks hitting there. So I'm square all the way and tap. Another little trick is, not trick, what you want to do is you start hitting these slowly. And it's not about how hard you can hit these. We want to do nice light taps just to start introducing the pressure. And if you have patience, you should wait a little bit in between each one and just slowly let that pressure start to break the stone apart. When you get to your end, you want to tap that one twice, just because as you're going back and forth, if you were to skip it, you would go bap, 1, and you'd be back at 2. So you want to hit bam, bam, 2 down here and then back. So I'm going to just do one set here. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and then we'll come back. You can see it starting to go. Now's a great time if they're loose enough to get them out, so you don't have to pick them out of rubble. Still gotta take the top off, but that'll be the cornerstone. Well, that top piece came off nice. You can see the little coloration right there, and that's where I said that. It had that little bit of crack in there, and it split right on there, so that went pretty nice. This is going to be the corner. Now, what I'll do to finish this up is I'm just going to take any of these areas that potentially have anything sharp to them, and we'll just kind of dull them up. This little irregular face, I'm all right with that. So those are all cleaned up. I already kind of trimmed that a little bit. And probably the last thing I will do is just trim a little bit of this so the next stone that comes in here can get kind of straight. Alright, I like that. Next block will sit in there. So there is our cornerstone. Ready to go get installed.